Of the few refugees who make it to Everlight, many are shocked to find that their troubles do not end there. Though its neutrality as a city-state left it largely unscathed during the Mage Wars, the city has its own mountain of problems to struggle with. The biggest ones being the ever-growing gap between the rich and the poor, an uncontrollable rise in crime, and the Purity of Light's aggressive crusade for new followers.
Just give the word. That way?
More fighting. Does this never end?
Here we are. Everlight. What now?
We need to find the archaeologist. His name was... let me think. Sir Albertus Watley.
Everlight is a big city.
True, but the Creators Guild might be a good place to start. As far as I know, he asked them for funding. Come, let's go.
Interesting.
Sure.
Something you need?
The hardest thing about business is minding your own. There are few cities where this proverb rings truer than in Everlight. With an underworld almost as large as the...
Corporal?
Understood.
Got it.
More lost souls. Well, keep you shielded.
Blazes! Help me, somebody!
Now would you look at that?
Sure.
Of the few refugees who make it to Everlight, many are shocked to find that their troubles do not end there. Though its neutrality as a city-state left it largely unscathed during the Mage Wars, the city has its own mountain of problems.
Yes?
So, what's the plan?
Yes?
Huh? Help you with something?
I want to cross over there. How much will that cost?
25 gold. And no haggling.
I want to cross the lake.
Sure. Where to?
Let's see.
Sounds like a plan.
Now would you look at that?
As a neutral, apolitical association of mages solely devoted to the study of magic, the members of the Creators Guild were among the few gifted that remained neutral during your father's war.
Here we are. Impressive.
And there's people down the hall. We should...
Interesting. We do not get visitors often these times.
Who are you?
I'm Undergast. I suppose you could call me the head of the guild. I sensed someone was coming and that someone had an intriguing aura. Now I know who it is. You are Isamo Tahar's child, are you not?
How do you know?
Well, I have studied Isamo Tahar's magic quite extensively, especially since the end of the Mage Wars. He was a remarkable man. Yours and his magical aura have a lot of similarities.
A remarkable man?
Yes.
Does that mean you supported him?
No, that is not what I said. I merely stated that he, as a mage and a man, was remarkable. Unusual or special, and therefore surprising or worth mentioning. My opinion on the war is an entirely different matter.
How are our auras similar?
Well, hard to say. You can simply tell that you're related. And there's something else about you that is, well, strange.
I get that a lot. Could you elaborate?
It is hard to say. There's something peculiar about you. An oddity in your aura which I cannot make sense of. I'm sorry. Either way, I assume you are here for a reason. How may we, the little that is left of us, help you?
I was wondering if you could tell me more about the Creators Guild.
Maybe I should begin with the question, what do you know about us already?
I know that you are a neutral association of mages that didn't participate in the Mage Wars. That's about it.
Well, and that is about the core of our guild. We are mages devoted to study, science, and the preservation of knowledge, and we do not involve ourselves in political conflict. We were founded in the year 231 by a woman named Goddess Bowdry. Ever since, the Creators Guild has been a constant in the ever-changing political landscape of Northander.
So you are the leader of the guild?
Well, I do not see myself as such, but yes, the majority of the guild considers me its leader.
The ferryman told me about an attack on the guild after the Mage Wars. He said it was the reason that there are so few mages left on the island. Is that true?
Yes, but it was not just the attack. There was also an internal disagreement.
That attack, how did it end? Am I right to assume you stopped it?
Of course. They were trying to kill us, so we fought back and killed them instead. At least until their morale was broken. Looking back, I think that this display of power was something we should have done earlier. Only because we were peaceful, the people who attacked us assumed that we were defenseless. They will not make the same mistake again.
That's a very dry way of seeing it.
If by dry you mean that it lacks the emotional aspect most people would add to a statement like this, then yes, I suppose it is. But again, it was not only the attack that diminished our numbers, but also a disagreement we had within the guild.
What kind of disagreement?
I would prefer not to talk about it. I am sorry.
Actually, we're here for a reason. We're investigating the Bloodburn. Is there anything you or your guild knows about it?
The Bloodburn? You're studying it?
I guess you could say that, yes.
Interesting. No, we do not know more about it than most alchemists or apothecaries at this point, though our general consensus is that we doubt the corporeal origin of the plague. There is magic involved in it.
Well, you're right about that. It's magical, and it's connected to the Shapers.
The Tsarland, that's interesting. Say, would you mind to tell me more? You seem to know a lot of variables which we are not aware of yet.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Why can't you? Sharing whatever information you have might be pivotal in the discovery of a cure.
I am bound to secrecy. I would tell you if I could, but I simply can't.
Well, that is unfortunate, but I understand. Do come back if you change your mind.
Yes?
Interesting.
Undergast? Now that's a pleasant surprise. Back already?
We need your help, Callaghan.
Yes, of course. What do you need?
That archaeologist, Sir Albertus Watley. What do you know about him?
Watley? That man obsessed with his island?
Yes. What do you know about him?
Not much. Only that he showed up here some years ago asking for funding for his bizarre excavation. All the nobles who usually fund these kinds of things had rejected him. However, he didn't have any proof backing up his claims, other than him claiming to be of Hibernian ancestry, just like Queen Aelith. So we had to send him away as well, which didn't stop him from digging.
He thinks he's a Hibernian?
Well, he said that his great-great-great-great-grandmother was part Hibernian, or something along those lines, though he didn't have any of the Queen's gifts.
And he also claimed that, through his heritage, he has been having those strange dreams since his childhood, of a secluded island within the Black Sea that no explorer has ever laid eyes upon.
And I take it you didn't believe him.
Well, I wanted to, and so did the other archivers. But the moment we start giving out money for fascinating stories alone is the moment we will stop existing.
Why would he dig in Everlight to find an island?
Because apparently there's a Shaper portal that might take him there. Or a Hibernian portal, I don't remember, it's been a while.
Fascinating.
If you and the nobles denied him the means to do an excavation, how did he dig?
That's where it gets tragic. He spent his entire heritage.
To no avail.
Not entirely. He found what resembled a portal, but it was just dead, cold stone. It didn't take him anywhere. He tried to activate it for years, but ultimately his savings ran out. Now he lives in the Mud District, begging for food. He literally gave it all for his dream, but failed. A sad story. Why do you ask, though?
A private matter. Thank you, Callaghan.
You're welcome, as usual, Undergast. I hope to see you again soon sometime. I have to continue my work now. Safe travels, friends.
Axes, daggers, swords, everything for the wary traveler. A fair offer.
Now would you look at that?
Sure.
Yes?
Let's see. Interesting.
Of the few refugees who make it to Everlight, many are shocked to find that their troubles do not end there. Though its neutrality as a city-state left it largely unscathed during the Mage Wars, the city has its own mountain of
Huh?
Well then, off to the Mud District. Let's hope Watley's still there.
And still alive. Uh-huh.
Huh.
Now would you look at that? Excuse me, madam. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for a man named Ilbertus Watley. He's supposed to live here.
Watley? Oh, you mean that beggar? Ah, he lives here. Does nothing but beg for coins at the marketplace all day long. What do you want from him?
Long story. Much obliged. Will do.
That way. All right.
Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for someone...
Watley.
I see. Thanks. I think that's him.
A coin.
I think that's him.
A coin? Fair lady. Please. The Old Father will reward you for your generosity.
Here, take this. Say, are you Sir Ilbertus Watley?
Yes, I am. Who are you? How do you know my name?
We're here because of the island in the Black Sea.
That accursed island. Tiara's breath. And here I thought I was done with it for good.
You seem bitter about it.
How did you guess? I sacrificed everything I had just for some deluded fantasy. From a nobleman in Tiara's grace to a beggar in the mud district. Quite the career, isn't it? And all because of some deluded childhood dream. Because I wanted to believe I'm special. Let's not talk about it.
Well, we know for a fact that it exists, and we want to find it.
What?
The island exists, and we have reason to believe there's something on it that we need. And we've been told that you tried to excavate an old Hibernian portal that could lead us there.
Forgive me, but this is a lot to take in.
But that portal exists.
Yes. Yes, it does. But it's useless. Just a piece of stone.
So, you used up all your wealth to find that island?
Yes. As you probably know, no one was willing to fund my expedition. So, I decided to take the matter into my own hands. Looking back, I can't believe how obsessed I was. Even when I sold the house my family had lived in for generations, I didn't see where that route was ultimately bound to take me. But I'd rather not talk about it. I hope you understand.
How did you learn of that island?
That's complicated. What it ultimately amounted to were some vague explorers' diaries, dreams, and an active imagination.
And that's all?
No, it's not. But please understand that this is a very painful chapter of my past, which I'd prefer to remain closed.
Another question. We were told that you consider yourself part Hibernian, like the Queen.
Well, not anymore. But yes, I believed that for a very long time.
How come?
Long story. The short version is that I've had these strange dreams ever since I can remember. Dreams of turquoise marble, of old rituals and ancient dragons. But they were always so vivid, like a real memory.
And that led you to believe they were?
That and the fact that I've always felt different from others. But then again, who doesn't? In the end, the Creators Guild was right. I had nothing to back up my claims.
What exactly did you hope to find on that island?
Wealth. At least, that was part of it, and what I told my potential patrons. Then, of course, there was my supposed Hibernian heritage. But, all that aside, Hibernian culture has always fascinated me. I studied archaeology in Greyfell, and as most archaeologists, I was always laughed at. Most people still consider it an expensive hobby for nobles rather than a true craft. I wanted to prove them wrong.
Oh, friend, I can relate to that. You wouldn't believe how much.
You can?
Be that as it may, we need to find a way to get to that island, and building a ship isn't an option. Can you show us that portal?
Haven't you listened? It doesn't work.
We need to try. Can you take us there?
Fine. I can. But only under one condition. You need to pay me. Now, believe me, I wouldn't ask this if I had a choice, but leaving this place during the busiest hours of the day means I'll end up with an empty belly tonight. Just give me 30 gold. That should last me for a week.
Take 60.
Oh, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Meet me at the excavation site, will you? I need to take care of something first.
Okay, see you there.
Yes?
Poor man. To give it all up for your dream and then fail. That must hurt.
They're not as uncommon as you might think. Some dreams just stay dreams. We just like to tell ourselves otherwise.
Potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
What do we need?
Look at that, boys.
Get ready!
Blazes, help me! Killed one of our heroes. Help, please.
Yes?
All right. Help! Killed one of our heroes. Help me, somebody.
Tiara's breath. You really killed them all. Just who exactly are you?
A former soldier. So this is the portal.
Yes.
It definitely looks Hibernian. Did you reconstruct it?
No, it was still intact when we found it. Which is more than strange, but that's also where the mystery ended. We couldn't activate it, even with the portal stone.
How did you find it in the first place? And what makes you believe it's connected to the island?
Hibernian stone tablets. You see, similar to the Shapers, the Hibernians had developed a magic that allowed them to travel great distances within a short amount of time through portals. By stepping through an active portal, it took you wherever its counterpart was located.
teleportation.
Yes, but much safer and also available to the common folk.
I see. And how do you know this portal's counterpart is on the island?
Another long story, for which I assume you don't have the time. Suffice to say that I found a kind of map, one that outlined all the Hibernian portals, how they used to be back in their era.
Interesting. And these portal stones were required to activate them?
Yes, but as I said, it didn't help. I paid a fortune to buy it from a Chilean merchant, but I might as well have sung my incantations on a brick.
Where is that stone now? Can I see it?
You're really stubborn, aren't you? No, you can't. Because I threw it away.
Why?
Because it was useless. It was useless. Like all of this sodding, pointless horseshit I ruined my life for. Forgive me. I shouldn't have gotten so upset. This place, it just brings up memories.
Where did you throw it away? Do you remember?
Yes, I remember. There's a small shack near the old River Watch in the southwest. That was the day I had finally realized that I had been chasing a ghost all along. You'll try to find it, won't you? I can see it. Please. I don't know who you are. But believe me, it's pointless. You're wasting your time.
Let me be the judge of that. Will you wait here?
If you insist. It's not as if I'm missing anything in that sodding city.
Something you need?
There. I think that's the shack Watley was talking about. Look at that. Could this be the stone?
Show me. Yeah, that might be it. Though, that's interesting. This stone. It is ornamented with Hibernian runes, but it looks an awful lot like our Shaper rune.
Interesting. Well, let's get back to Watley.
I understand.
Watley? We found...
By the... What? How is that possible?
The portal. I think it reacted to me.
But... this doesn't make sense. No, this is a dream. This isn't happening.
Well,
I need to see.
Blazes, stop!
Too late. We need to follow him.
A little preparation wouldn't have hurt.
Though some cartographers may claim otherwise, the maps of Io are still far from complete. The Black Sea in particular has always invited explorers and adventurers to fantasize. Situated north of Fiara, many ships have fallen victim to its stormy waters, causing the number of expeditions to diminish.
Tiara's breath. It worked.
It felt just like traveling with a godstone.
Only that this seems to have been a one-way road. The portal is closed.
what about the portal stone?
I don't know. It seems empty. Activating that portal must have used up all of its energy. Question is, where's Watley? And is it just my imagination, or is the sun a bit lower than when we stepped through?
That's very possible. Time tends to get distorted for the user when using teleportation magic. Anyway, best we start searching for Watley. If he's on his own, he might be in danger.
Agreed. Let's follow the path. He can't have gone far.
Huh?
You got it.
This way, right?
Hard to believe we're suddenly thousands of miles from Everlight. But there is something unique to this island, isn't there?
True. There are hardly any magical signatures around us. Whoever lived or lives here, they haven't been in contact with the outside world yet.
Sounds like a plan.
Corporal?
Interesting.
You got it.
You read my mind.
How do you like
Decide. Now.
Yes?
Now would you look at that?
Got it.
Sure. Will do.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way?
That way. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yashwus Kenyar. Sro Cesar.
Sro de Shar.
Srar.
Blazes! Help me, somebody!
Bugger and blast it! Who were these creatures? And what took you so long?
We entered the portal just after you. The teleportation caused a distortion in time.
Oh, of course. The writings mentioned that. Well, thanks for saving me. And sorry for being so mindless. These creatures, I thought they were going to kill me.
Who's our friend?
I don't know. He must be one of the locals. But he doesn't seem to understand our tongue.
Tunde, I do.
Fine. Now I'm lost.
So am I. How can you know our language?
Because we are both Kalal. You come from the Forsaken Land, which our people left behind hundreds of generations ago. Though your way of speaking is strange, be that as it may, I am not worthy of answering your questions. I will take you to our Yaris. She has predicted the arrival of outsiders, and it seems that her readings have become true. You will free us from Shar's snakespawn.
We come from the same land? You mean, you're also from Nortander?
Yes, but our ancestors left it behind. It's a long tale, and again, not one I am worthy of telling.
Who is this Shar?
Lakeshi, a renegade, a traitor. But our Yaris will tell you all.
All right, then take me to your Yaris.
Wait, Yaris? Tonde. This sounds a lot like the Hibernian tongue. Are you Hibernians?
Not directly. But again, our Yaris is better fit to explain that. Now please follow me.
Sure.
Understood.
I understand.
Let's see.
Yakul!
Saris Jadul! Mekil! I thought the snake spawn got you!
They almost did. These people saved me.
Interesting. Save for the Medusae, this place looks quite serene.
Got it.
That way?
They are from the Forsaken Land, Yakul. Just as she read from the stars.
By the name of the sun. Outsiders. Are they... I mean, do they speak our tongue?
We do. And I bet we have as many questions as you have.
I see. Gallus Danwaji, outsider. Thank you for saving this man. You have no idea what his death would have brought upon our village.
I promised to take them to the Yaris. Can you let us in?
I believe so. Take them to the Yaris, Mekil. She will want to know the stars spoke the truth. It was an honor, outsider. Tondia, outsider.
I see the outsiders have arrived.
RUS. Yes, they have. Just as you predicted. And they saved me from the snake spawn.
Then you already have my gratitude, stranger. Mekil, you may leave.
Of course.
Well then. I'm a Shah, holy Yaris of the Ulias tribe. What's your name?
I assume Yaris means leader.
Not precisely, but yes. I am the leader of this village. So tell me, who am I talking to?
I'm Tahar. That man, he said you foresaw our coming.
I read the stars, yes. They told me that soon a stranger would come. One seeking for something to end a curse put upon his land.
The Bloodbud.
Don't tell me. Our tribe has left the Forsaken Land for a reason, and whatever is happening there, it does not concern us. All that matters is that the stars sent you to save us from Shar, and that we, should you succeed, give you the Kasarlanthep stone in return.
So, your people fled from the mainland?
Yes, we did, which is why we were able to talk to one another. But that was a long, long time ago. And since you will probably ask, we left because we were persecuted.
Persecuted? Why?
Because of our faith. We followed the ancient teachings of the Hyberians, and though we were only a few and our faith was peaceful, the priestess of Tiara did not approve. We started to roam the lands in search of a new home, but wherever we went, people drove us away. Until one day, one of our sages found a portal. You can imagine the rest.
So, you worship the Hibernians?
No. They weren't gods. We follow their teachings.
Which are?
Quite simple. I know most remember the Hyberians as brutal dragon hunters, but they were so much more. I even dare say that their downfall was the worst that could happen to Io. But this is a complex matter. If you are truly interested, read one of our parchments. You should be able to decipher the writing.
Oh, trust me. I'll do that.
Queen Aelith is a direct descendant from the Hibernians.
Who?
Right. You wouldn't know. And you never wanted to return to Fiara?
No.
I hate to disappoint, but me being here doesn't have anything to do with the stars.
Yes, it does. Even though not in the way you think. What I do, reading the constellations, it is merely interpreting a pattern that is already there. You see, we sentient beings like to consider ourselves separate from the world, but the truth is, we aren't. We're part of a complex whole. Characters, events, catastrophes, they repeat, maybe in a different shape, but with the same core. They are patterns ingrained into the fabric of existence.
Fascinating. This is just what the Hibernian priests always said.
In other words, you're saying that us being here is part of a pattern? The Xarlanthep stone?
Yes, the ones who created the relic you are looking for.
The Shapers. She's talking about the Shapers.
If that is how you call them, yes.
So, we help you, and you give us the Nexus Stone in return. Is that the deal?
I don't know the stone by that name, but yes, if you help us resolve our problem, you can have it.
You don't even want to know what we need it for?
No. As I said, the outside world doesn't concern us anymore.
All right, what do you need help with? Your Medusa problem, I assume, and this Shar who's controlling them?
Yes, but it's a bit more complicated. Shar is my son. Where should I start? I have two sons, Dul and Shar. According to the Hyberian traditions, it was set that Dul would succeed me as the next Yaris. As you can imagine, this was never easy. Shar never accepted Duel as the legitimate firstborn.
I think I can see where this is going.
It's not that simple. You see, their father died when they were both very young, and that shaped their personalities in very different ways. Shar was frail, sensitive, and emotional. He was always sick, had horrible nightmares, and often talked about these voices he heard.
He heard voices?
Yes. Not only during the night, sometimes even in broad daylight.
What did they say?
All kinds of things. But nowadays I simply think it was him having a too active imagination.
What kind of dreams did he have?
Everything, really. A lot of it revolved around his father's death. And then he had this one about the sacrificed woman.
The sacrificed woman?
Yes. According to him, he always found himself in some temple-like room surrounded by strange, puppet-like creatures. He walked down a hallway until he stepped into a room where there was a woman lying on an altar. I talked to our shaman about this, but he said that it might simply be his fragile mind. Now I believe that it also had something to do with his magic. A lot of gifted children suffer from strange dreams like that one.
And Duel, your firstborn?
He was the exact opposite. He was strong, always healthy and good with people, but hardly ever showed emotion. It was almost as if he was destined to succeed me.
How did your husband die?
His heart just stopped beating. A rare disease that had run in his family's blood for generations.
My condolences. What was their relationship?
Well, Duel was very distant toward Shar, and Shar hated Duel with a passion. The day things got truly complicated was when Shar discovered his magic. His talent was enormous.
Who taught him? I assume you don't have universities on this island.
You are right. We don't. My duties as Yaris kept me from teaching him myself, so it was mainly the old shaman who died 2 years ago that taught him. But as I said, his talent was enormous. He didn't need much guidance.
Let's cut to the chase. Where did the Medusae come from?
Well, it all happened a month ago. One night, Shar and Duel were gone. The next morrow, our village was surrounded by snake spawn, rallied behind my Shar.
Being a talented mage is one thing, but where did all these Medusae come from? The snake spawn, as you call them.
A ritual. An invocation that has been passed down in our tribe for generations. You see, we do not know war on this island, and fate willing we never will, which is why we are practically defenseless. But that does not mean we are naive. Should our people ever be threatened by outsiders, whether they come by the portals or by ship, the snake spawn would protect us.
So, Shar used this ritual to bind the Medusae to his will?
Yes.
So you can read from the stars, but you didn't see that coming.
Yes, I knew Shar was trouble, and I knew how much he despised his brother, but to go that far? No. Maybe I was just blind, but I didn't expect that to happen.
But what did he want? Force you to make him the next Yaras instead?
Worse. He said that since we are too blind to see, he would take matters in his own hands and enforce the trial of brothers.
Of course.
I don't understand.
In the Hibernian Empire, it actually wasn't custom for the firstborn child of the emperor to succeed him. Instead, their heirs had to compete in a ritualized duel, which mostly ended deadly for one of the parties. That way, or so the Hibernians figured, there would never be a weakling on the throne.
They forced siblings to kill each other? That's brutal.
You're right, it is. As much as our people admired the Iberian faith, this wasn't a custom we ever adopted. Be that as it may, for the month, Shar's had his snake spawn abduct villagers to help him restore the ruin up north, so that it's worthy of hosting the trial. Once that is done, he wants to challenge his brother to a fight at the mountain altar. You see where this is going. You need to bring him to reason.
How am I supposed to do that? I can't take on his entire army by myself.
I know that. So the first step should be to free at least some of our people he has taken prisoner. After that is done, we can discuss further steps.
These villagers your son holds captive, where can I find them?
As far as I know, he took most of them to the ruin up north, but the place is heavily guarded by snake spawn, and he has shut himself in, so you can't go there yet. For now, it would suffice if you took care of the smaller camp just north of the village. I feel bad to ask this of you, Tahar, but frankly our hands are bound. I just have to trust the stars that I'm not sending you into your doom.
Don't worry. We've fought worse.
Yes, I guess you have.
Why do you need me for this? You're his mother. Can't you just talk sense into him yourself?
Believe me, I've tried. And to be honest, until the first death, I thought that this was another one of his tantrums. But when the first villager his snakes captured on that first morning tried to run, he simply ordered them to shoot an arrow right through his throat. And Shar promised that if we make any attempts to stop him, he will take this even further. You see, Tahar, we aren't fighters. Our magic is meant to protect, to heal, and our weapons are only meant for fish and deer. But these snake creatures, you saw how dangerous they are. Right now, there is nothing we can do.
If we do this, can you also help us return to the mainland?
Yes, I believe I can. Arvalis, our village shaman, knows a lot about the ancient portals. But until we have our people back, he won't be able to help you.
How am I supposed to make him see reason?
If only I knew. Talk to him, convince him, make him realize what he has done. Just try not to hurt him, will you? But as I said, first of all, our people need to be freed. As long as the village is defenseless, we can't provide you with the means to take down his camp. I'll be here if you need anything. Now good luck, Tahar. And for what it's worth, sorry for burdening you with this. Tondai, outsider. What do you need?
I'll be off. Thanks for your time.
Huh?
Tondai, you're the outsider, aren't you? Interesting.
Sure.